Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about my ex moved on fast. What to do when your ex moves on super fast, okay? So first of all, it's important, not to panic, right? So don't panic. If your ex is suddenly just in a new relationship, don't panic about it, okay? And the reason why you don't want to panic about it, and you kind of want to, in a way, kind of see it as a little bit silly, kind of smirk at it, is because rebounds rarely work. And if she's moved on super fast, or he's moved on super fast, then clearly they're in a rebound, okay? And rebounds rarely work out, okay? And even if they do, they're not typically the most healthy relationships, okay? And the only way rebounds can really work is if both people are willing to work on the relationship, okay, and go to counseling or something like that. But very few couples do that anyway, right? So rebounds rarely work out. So don't panic, okay? Now, obviously you really consider this and think, okay, so my ex has done this, and maybe you still want them back. But what you've got to think about here is like, do I want them back now that they're sleeping with someone else? Do I really want them back now? Like, come on. I personally wouldn't want to do that. So, you got to really think about that and consider that and be like, you know what? I don't know if I really want them back now that they've done this. Okay. So, the next thing that's important to do is, well, actually, this is something you shouldn't do, right? And that is don't date. So please do not date, right? Anyone new yourself, okay? Because this is not a race to the altar. You're not in a race with your ex to see who can move on the fastest, okay? Now, because what you got to realize is that just because your ex is in a rebound doesn't mean that they've moved on. It doesn't mean that they're over it. It doesn't mean that they feel absolutely A-okay with the breakup that they had with you or with the relationship that they had with you. In fact, it's very unlikely that it's true. Even though they're in a new relationship, they probably still think about you a lot. Now, that doesn't mean that they're thinking about you positively, right? If you went through a breakup, it's very unlikely that they're thinking about you positively. But they're still thinking about you. They're probably still not over it. They're probably still talking to their friends about it. They're probably still emotionally wounded or crying about it sometimes, right? And, what you've got to realize is that this is not a race to the altar and a race to see who can get over it quicker, okay? And by going into a rebound straight away, it shows a little bit of immaturity to me, because most people who are healthy, right, healthy women, healthy guys, you're mentally healthy, when they've been through a relationship, they need some time to just be before they go into a new relationship. They need time to just, get back to who they were, focus on some other things for a while, focus on friends and family, focus on healing, getting over it, right? If you go from one relationship straight into another, it just shows to me that that person who's done that isn't even, I don't think they're even ready to be in a relationship, really, right? They need time to just be on their own. People that are going to rebounds like this are not typically the most healthy people, okay? Emotionally healthy, mentally healthy, okay? So that's something you definitely don't want to do yourself, okay? Because it's just going to prevent you from moving on. And typically what happens is when you go into a rebound, because you haven't had time to get over the past relationship, you're bringing all of that old baggage, all of those old emotions into this new relationship. Because I've seen this happen, right? Someone breaks up with their partner, they go straight into a new relationship, and they start treating this new person like they're their ex. So for example, I know of a couple who used to cheat on each other as punishment, right? They both used to do this to each other, right? Used to cheat on each other as punishment. And now that the girl is in a new relationship, this is what she did. She started to cheat as punishment, right, to this new person who would never do that, right? So as you can see, if you don't have time to get over the old relationship, you're going to continue doing the toxic habits that you did in the old relationship, in a new relationship, to someone who probably doesn't even deserve it, right? So that's what you got to think about here, right? So even though they're in this relationship, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a healthy one. And you definitely shouldn't mimic and try to do what they did and try to race down the altar and beat them because you're trying to prove who's over it faster, right? You got to heal, take time to get over it, give yourself a few months, right? If it was a short-term thing, just give yourself, maybe even just a few weeks, right? But if it was a long-term thing, then you should really give it a year or about a year and a half to get over it, okay? But if it was just a couple of months, then maybe a couple of months is enough to get over it before you can start dating again. Or maybe even a couple of weeks if you was only together for less than a month or something like that. So that's something else that is important to consider, okay? So it's not a race, okay? So please do not think that it's a race, because it really isn't, okay? And because now you're taking the time to heal and to get over it, and you're not going to race her or him down the altar because you're trying to see you can move on faster, because you're doing it properly, you're getting over it in the proper, in a good, sensible way, basically. When you find a new relationship, right, you're going to have a way healthier one than the one that they're in now, okay? Because you didn't have the rebound phase, right? You just simply got over it, okay? Or you did your rebound and now you're on to healing and getting over it, right? So another thing that you should do is to make sure that you're not checking up on her anymore, on her, or on his social media, or asking friends about them, because that's going to prevent you from moving on. So if they're with someone new now and they've moved on super fast, don't be checking up on them all the time to see what's happening now, to see the new updates, because again, that's going to keep you stuck, right? It really is going to keep you stuck, and it's going to prevent you from moving on. Okay, and it's also kind of a little bit toxic to kind of do that kind of thing. It's not good for your mental health to do that kind of thing either. So please, don't check up on their social media anymore. If for your own sanity, if you can't help yourself, then block them, mute them, do whatever you have to do so you don't have to see their posts anymore, and try to restrain yourself from checking up on them. And also do the same with when you ask mutual friends. Don't ask mutual friends about how they're getting on now, what they're doing. Or if you've got mutual friends, tell them, okay, I don't want to hear about Sandra, or I don't want to hear about Harry anymore, okay? I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it, right? So that's what you've got to say to them. I don't want to know what they're up to. I don't know what they're doing. They just let them get on with their lives, okay? You don't want any information filtered back through to you. And if that's a good friend, they'll understand that and they'll respect those boundaries and they won't bring them up anymore, okay? So you don't want to be doing anything basically that is keeping you stuck, that is preventing you from getting over it. Because what can happen is if you keep on going back to your ex's social media page to see how they've been moving on and how things are progressing, it can feel like you're comparing yourself to them, and again going back into this who can get over the other person faster, right? And that's just a really immature, really silly thing to do, okay? Focus on your own life, essentially, right? Which is the next point I want to get into. Focus on your own life. Focus on the things that you want to create in your life. Focus on finding out dating information so you can find someone new, relationship information, so you can have a more healthy relationship in the future. And those books in my description are always there for you to have a look at. Those affiliate links. Now, if you do buy a book through those links, then I will get a small commission, but that would I would really appreciate it if you did that kind of thing. But you don't have to. You can just look at those titles, write those titles down, go to your local library, get them out for free, or maybe you go on eBay and find a cheap version of them, or go on Amazon for a cheap version or something like that, looking for the the secondhand versions. You don't have to buy them, but if you do, that would be greatly appreciated. But if you read those books, though, if you read, especially the books on relationships and dating, they're really going to benefit you when it comes to having better relationships, better, higher quality relationships in the future, and being to attract better quality people into your life to date, right? So not only can you just get over your ex, but you may even be able to find someone even better than your ex, which is really the dream there, right? Finding someone better than them. So I highly recommend that you go and check out those books out, because they will expand your knowledge, and they will be able to create healthier romantic relationships for you in the future, and also help you succeed better at dating, so you have more successful dates and things like that. So it's all around really good. There's also some other books on there about personal development, personal success, which can really help with those things as well. But if you just want to focus on your love life right now, then just get the ones that are related to dating and relationships. Okay, so focus on your own life, focus on getting better, focus on moving on. Don't focus on them anymore and what they're doing with their life. Focus on your own life, okay? Because you can't control their life now, okay? You have no influence over their life whatsoever. The only person's life that you can influence is your own life. So try and make it the best one that you possibly can. Try and do all that you can to create an amazing life for yourself. Work towards that every single day. And, if you shoot for the moon, right, you may not land on the moon, but you will land among the stars. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.